Here we have a new 2024 Toyota Tundra Crew Max. Now this one comes in the Capstone trim level in supersonic red. And then we have black and beige semi-aniline leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 3.4 liter twin turbocharged V6 hybrid engine, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And that gives us 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque. Excuse the wind, but as we come to the front end here, we get LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights. And since these came out in 22, just a really sophisticated look after not getting a redesign for almost 10 years. Actually, almost 15 years, but here we have 22-inch dark alloy wheels. I like that look, especially on the supersonic red. It looks classy, but still kind of aggressive. Passive keyless entry on the front two doors. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down windows on all four doors. Power door lock controls are here. Rear window lock, power mirror controls, pick aside and adjust. And then we can also power fold these side mirrors with blind spot monitors in them. Memory seat functions here. I like the trim here. I like having that white. And then we have that wood grain there. Gonna turn that heated steering wheel on because it's freezing out. Everything else pretty self-explanatory here. Power tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then we do have our power driver's seat with four-way power lumbar support. So just a nice looking seat there and tons of controls as well. But a big shout out to John Roberts Toyota here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. I'm gonna use these power running boards to get out of the cold here. Now I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, and sitting behind myself, pretty good leg room. Now with this sunroof, my head's not touching the ceiling, but I have less space than I'm used to in other full-size trucks, but I'd rather have this interior, honestly. Just very, very nice. And then 3-stage heated and cooled seats for the back. We have a USB-C and a USB-A charge port there, and a 120-volt 3-prong household plug-in as well. But can't get enough of this interior here. It just looks phenomenal. And we even have the middle seat that folds down. Bottle holders are there. And then my favorite thing about this truck, I don't know if it's the only pickup truck, but it's one of the only pickup trucks where you can get rear blinds in the back. So if you have your kid back here in the car seat trying to take a nap, the sun rays aren't gonna wake him or her up. Now, I think we have a lockable gas cap here. So something else that you don't see on most pickup trucks that a lot of people complain about in the comment sections. So the Tundra does have a lockable glove compartment, or not glove compartment, gas cap that you can't get to without unlocking it from the front. But coming around the back end here, LED tail lamps. We do have the side step here. If you ever want to pull that out, you can do that. Spare underneath there. And then we do have a spray-on bed liner, and then a 120-volt 3-prong back here. But love the red. Can't say enough about that. Coming back around to this side. Scoot this over. If you want to lift the seat up, pull this strap. And then you don't have any storage underneath there, but you can get to your relays and fuses on this side. Or if you just want to have space to kind of put bags and stuff and you don't want to mess the leather up for whatever reason, you kind of have that going for you. But let's take a look at this window sticker here. Y'all can pause anywhere you need to if you want to take a closer look at anything. But a hefty sticker price here, $82,053, but this is top of the line. Almost has everything, pretty much comparative to a Sierra Denali or an F-150 King Ranch, something along those lines. Lockable glove compartment here. And then looks like we don't have a storage pocket here, but I do like how they put that wood grain and how it just says Capstone there. Very, very elegant. And I do like how this looks similar to the Sequoia, but it's not necessarily the same. Like, you can, when you see one of these coming down the road from the front end, if you know vehicles, there's a subtle difference just in how much of a presence that it has. The Sequoia looks a bit more sophisticated and the Tundra looks a bit more rugged when you see it coming. But it's covered up there. There's that 3.4 liter twin turbo V6 hybrid engine. But it's pretty cold out here, so let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So there's a horn there, leather wrapped steering wheel, which is heated. Always nice to have that. And then of course that heated button is down here. Well, let's go to this screen here. So this is a relatively large screen, I think, but I like how much of a presence it has without necessarily being overcomplicated. I mean, everything is here, AM, FM, XM radio, you get Bluetooth audio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then pretty much everything else is simple. Everything, so if you want to go in here, language and units are right there, date and time is right there, Wi-Fi, hotspot, all of that's available. And then of course you have the navigation subscription if you want to use that. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing else that is super complicated or anything. And then you have a nice big picture for the backup camera, which is pretty high def. And then the guidelines follow you. You have that bird's eye view. You have the bed view camera there, which I love. Curbside views, just a lot going on here. Now we get dual zone automatic climate controls. You can set either side there. You can unsync or sync there. Volume, click there to turn the audio off. And then you have a USB-A port there. And everything else, I mean, like your modes is what you use to go through your fan directions, and then you can cut off the rear vents, 3-stage heated cool front seats. Everything's pretty how you would expect it to be, if that makes sense. Hazards are here, traction control, that camera view, hit that button and you get that there. And then you do have the trailer backup guide, which you can turn on or off there. Then automatic brake hold, electronic parking brake, pull to engage with the brake, press down to disengage. Trailer brake controllers there. And then to shift the 10-speed, pull this lever, reverse neutral drive, and you can come over here and manually shift, and it'll show you in that bottom right-hand corner what gear you're in. And then your 4-wheel drive controls are here. You do get full 4-wheel drive, so you have your 4 high and 4 low. And then your drive modes, you have 3 of those: sport, normal, eco. And then you can hit this tow haul button and then use the same knob to go through those modes. But I think you just have tow haul there and then tow plus. The bottle holders are here, wireless charging pads there. You can close all that up there. And the wood just feels so nice. Can't say enough about that. And then you can move this tray back if you want to, or pick the whole thing up. And then a pretty huge center console cubby space. Have change slots, a USB-A, USB-C charge port there. And then even an additional bottle holder if you want to use it for that. And then for the roof, you get a power sunshade, and then you get a power glass front there, and 2 times gets it all the way back. Close that up as soon as possible. And then a look at the back end there. Of course, the signature roll down window that we've grown to love in the Tundras is still here. Up here we have our sunglasses holder, rear camera mirror, we can turn that on or off. Vanity mirror here, nice light there. And then back to the steering wheel, stalk behind on the left side, headlamps, fog lights, auto, and then we can turn the high beams on, flash there. And then we do get automatic wipers here, 1 time off, auto, low, high. We can adjust the auto sensitivity there, and then pull up here for that front wiper fluid. Now here we have the volume controls, voice recognition. Then we can use these 2 arrows as well as these arrows here, and the OK button, even this back button to go through our digital gauge cluster there. So tons of options on what you can see through each sub menu. And then Bluetooth buttons here, and audio can be toggled here with that mode. And then we can go through our track list or radio station presets here. And with our radar cruise, because it says Toyota Safety Sense 2.5, we can turn that on or off there. And then if you want to hold that button, you can go to constant speed control there. And then lane departure, lane keeping system, the gap adjust for the cruise is there. And then we can set the speed, cancel like normal. And then we also get a nice heads-up display. It doesn't flash like that. That's just how the camera's picking it up. And then push button starts here. Then there's the key fob there. But now let's go ahead and take this 2024 Tundra with the iForce Max engine out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Tundra, very responsive engine. Ride quality so far is pretty good with this being a full-size truck, even with these 22-inch alloy wheels. I'm just gonna adjust my viewpoint so y'all can see a little better. But I'm gonna put it into sport mode and just give it a little throttle getting on the interstate here. But I like I don't know if it's a simulated sound, but the exhaust mixed with what's coming through the speakers just sounds super aggressive, and I love that. We're just gonna give it a little pull here. Now the pull you get from this twin turbo hybrid motor is just insane, because you have the torque from the electric motor, but you also have it from the twin turbo V6. So it's almost kind of weird how you accelerate, but it's just super quick. I'm gonna put on the safety system here. And dial this gap back. But I don't know if the lane tracing assist is on. For whatever reason, whenever I get in these, it's off. But you do have lane tracing assist here. See, it is off. All right, so full suite is active now. Lane tracing, radar cruise. And for the most part, it does a pretty good job just keeping you in the lines, keeping that safe distance between yourself and the vehicle in front of you. And very quiet in here, even going 70 miles per hour. So cabin acoustics are phenomenal. But in terms of the price for this, it is a bit steep, I think. But I mean, this is the top of the line Tundra, the top of the line Sierras and F-150s are going 90 grand as opposed to this 83, 84. So not really super disappointed there. And I do think that Toyota makes a more subtle top trim in this Capstone as opposed to the ultimate Denali that you get from GMC, the High Country you get from Chevrolet, and then the King Ranch, or even the limited trim that you get from Ford. But I do think that this is a pretty competitive truck in today's market, all things considered. It certainly sounds good. It certainly drives nice. And not really missing any amenities here. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Toyota Tundra in the Capstone trim level.